All right. Doing something a little bit different. Doing something a little bit different. Here we go. Hi, chat. How you doing? You doing well? You had a good weekend? You having a good Sunday? I hope so. I hope everybody out there is doing just fine and dandy. It's been a weekend, chat. It's been a weekend. Yeah. So I decided to do something a little bit different today. So I am a huge anime fan. I know most people probably don't know because most of my streams are just kind of comprised of gaming and streaming and chatting and getting my ass beat at Lies of P and other such games. But I'm a humongous anime fan. From collecting anime figures to the only vacations I ever really go on are saving up all year so I can go to Japan once a year. Almost solely so I can go buy more anime figures and play in the arcades and just be surrounded by everything that I love. It is a humongous thing that I love doing. I love being part of that. I've been in the fan of anime. I've been a fan of anime for an extremely long time. I believe my first shows that I ever really watched were, I think, Samurai Pizza Cats and Ronin Warriors. And Ronin Warriors was only called that here in the States. So, yeah, it's been like a 30-year love affair of anime. It's something that I absolutely adore. The medium, the creativity, the stories. It's always been something that I have been a humongous fan of. And I really wanted to kind of take the time today and just kind of explore that to an extent. We're only going to really talk about the spring 2024 anime season, but I am hoping to do more of these if people are interested, and kind of go through all the seasons as they come and just discuss what I'll be watching, what I won't be watching, and things like that. So the spring 2024 anime season is almost done. We've got a week left on almost all of the shows. I'm not watching everything. You'd be surprised by the things I'm not watching. You'd probably be surprised by the things I am watching. So I figured this would be a good enough time to just kind of pull up Mal, or no, I'm on live chart actually. Mal was not conducive for what I want to do here, and I was just going to go through everything. I think that's going to be, you know, we have a pretty extensive list here. What's up, Squeakers? How you doing, buddy? I'm okay. I'm just talking about anime. I decided to do something a little bit different today, so I'm gonna go through the live chart for the spring 2024 anime season, and I'm gonna go over the shows that I'm watching, the shows that I'm not watching, what I think's really good, what I think people are missing out on, my thoughts on some of them. Usually back in the not anime boy days, I actually made YouTube videos for each season on what I was watching, but I figured this would be a little bit more fun to do it this way. Just stream on Twitch and talk about it, see if anybody pops in and talk about anime with me, and if not, it's going up on YouTube anyway, so screw it. But yeah, this is actually a pretty stacked season for anime. Granted, I am not a humongous shonen fan, so I'm actually skipping a lot of the ones people are probably watching on this list. Like, I don't watch Demon Slayer, I don't watch My Hero Academia, I dropped Mushoku Tensei, I'm not a One Piece fan. No problems if anybody likes those things, they're just not for me. But yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. So everybody can kind of figure out what kind of ridiculous I am when it comes to anime. So we're gonna start at the top of this list and we're gonna go down. That's what we're gonna do, chat. So the first thing I am actually watching is going to be That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3. So not much to say about this one. Most people are either already, you know, balls deep in this story. We are on season 3. There has been a movie. It's been around for years now. I am your typical isekai trash connoisseur. I'm a big fan of isekai shows. I like the fact that the entire genre was basically created out of the fact that the working culture in the country was pretty abrasive, so they literally would kill off their characters to give them another chance at another life in a fantasy world, because what's better than work but fighting for your life against monsters? But yeah, I am watching That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime season 3. I am caught up on the story, and what I will say about this season is it is so slow, chat. It is so incredibly slow. Don't get me wrong, I love watching Rimuru and everything in his domain and what's going on, but I swear there were 6 straight episodes of meetings. Like, this man gets stabbed to death in his regular world to go to a fantasy world just so he can go sit in meetings again. It's one of those, like, you kept sitting there and you're like, this whole meeting could have been an email. But yeah, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime season 3, if you're invested in the story, is definitely one that I think is great. If you were out of the loop on it, basic premise, man gets stabbed to death, gets reincarnated literally as a slime. It's in the title. Isekai always knows how to make you know exactly what it's about, and basically just tries to get everybody to get along and create his own domain of Tempest, and to try to get everybody just to kind of live in peaceful harmony while having ridiculous fight scenes, and just, you know, it's a power fantasy, as most isekai are. But I am actually watching that one, so that's definitely one I would recommend. Mushoku Tensei is on season 2. It's on its second core of season 2, so basically season 2 part 2. I dropped it. I dropped it. I just don't care anymore. I hate Rudius. Sylphie's a fantastic character as the love interest, but he himself is just kind of trash. And I know that he's meant to be trash. I know that he's supposed to develop as a character, but he doesn't. He's trash, chat. He's just trash. The world building is great, it's fantastic, but I can't be bothered with it. I just honestly can't. I don't like it. Demon Slayer, not for me. I'm not a big fan of historical shows that are set in like historical past. Aesthetically, it's just not for me. Art's great, nothing wrong with the art, that's cool, just not for me. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy, season 2. I am actually watching it. Once again, we get another power fantasy. Basically, Makoto just keeps trucking along with his merchant business. He keeps hating on the goddess. He keeps trying to make life better for the demi-humans, while basically realizing that all humans are pieces of garbage. We have the demons playing a bigger role this season, more or less basically attacking all the humans and attempting to kill, maim, and destroy everybody. But it's also been a pretty good season, but I will once again say that there was a lot of dragging in this season for this show. It seems to be a common theme with a lot of our like battle shonen action shows this season, is they're dragging, they're extending out their run times. Something that I think this is going to be 25 episodes, potentially could have been jammed into 14 or 15 pretty easily. But they've definitely extended it out a bit much, but I do still love all the characters. The characters are very interesting, the world building is really good. So I am enjoying Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy season 2. I just think that if you're missing out on it, you might be able to get away without watching it. It is another isekai, an enjoyable one to say the least, but maybe I think if you're gonna choose isekai, you're an extended duration of time, maybe, who knows. But that is what I'm seeing with a lot of the shows this season, is they're definitely extended. They're pulling their seasons longer and longer. Like Slime Isekai is a 24 episode season, Tsukimichi's a 25 episode season. They could have easily cut those in half, removed some things, and I know a lot of people get angry about that, but it was in the manga, and that's great. But there are ways to artificially speed up your storytelling so that you don't lose out on anything. I think they're just kind of avoiding that. Maybe it's because there are so many anime out this season and they're trying to give the animators a little bit of a break so there's more static images, but I'm not 100% sure. So after Tsukimichi, we get into one of my favorites of the season, one of my favorite shows of all time, and that's going to be Konosuba. I absolutely adore Konosuba. Comedy anime are very hit or miss, and I believe a lot of that has to do with cultural differences. So I'm in the States. What passes as funny here is not always going to necessarily be funny in Japan or in Europe or in Africa or in Australia. Culturally, everyone's a little bit different. So comedy, when you're watching foreign comedy, can sometimes fall a little flat. A lot of jokes don't really hit the way that they're supposed to, things of that nature. But after sitting through basically every Konosuba thing I can find, I've watched every single season, I've watched the movie, I have the game, one of the games that's actually been brought over here. I'm happy to say that the comedy in this show hits. It hits so well. Kazuma is trash. Aqua is literally the worst goddess ever. Megumin is the amazing Chuni wizard. She's absolutely hilarious. Darkness is just this masochistic. Everything about the show just ticks those boxes. It is not often that an anime will have me actually laughing out loud. I literally lol, chat. It's not something that I generally do when it comes to these things. Like I said, comedy is difficult when it comes to cultural differences, but Konosuba through and through has been something that is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it to everybody. Just realize that you're not supposed to like anyone. Like they all have redeeming parts to them, but they're still garbage people. They're still just terrible, and a lot of that is where the humor comes into play because of just how inept they are at everything they do. And if you've not checked out Konosuba yet, you have so much to catch up on. So much. Like, this is season 3, and I'm kind of sad that there's only 11 episodes this season, but Konosuba knows how to get in, get shit done, and then excuse itself politely while smashing everything on the table. They're not just trying to artificially extend it. They're getting in there, jokes are hard hitting, the story is good, there are heartfelt moments which are immediately ruined by one of the characters doing something stupid. And then it moves on. It's absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it. And season 3 is almost done. So if you're not like me, if you're not the masochist that actually sits around and watches these as they air, you've got hours of fun to be had. All right, we're gonna scroll down this list, chat. We're gonna scroll down this list. Next up is Kaiju number 8. This is probably the one that's has the most hype around it for this season. Shonen. It's a shonen anime with monsters and guns. It's just basically man in his 30s. I felt that. Wants to join the Kaiju Defense Force, but he keeps failing. But his childhood friend Mina, she's basically the leader of the Defense Force because she's just a badass, and he wants to join it. He starts going through all the stuff to kind of get back into it, and then he gets possessed by a kaiju. Flying kaiju literally flies in his throat. He becomes part kaiju. So then we run into the annoyance, I do say that sincerely, the annoyance of hiding your powers. It's a trope that I don't like in anime. I get why they do it. I get it. I hate it. I hate it. It's so annoying. But yeah. But as far as Kaiju 8 goes, it is, it's not bad. It's Production IG is the studio that does it. Production IG, insane animators. Everything they do, they kind of take it one step above. The show has a decent enough balance of comedy and action. Everybody really likes the opening. I don't like it, but that's because I don't like English openings to Japanese things. In all honesty, give me another Japanese band for an opening. be much happier with it, but that's neither here nor there. A lot of people are really enjoying the opening for this one, but it's good. The animation's fine. The story's okay. I don't know if I'll continue it past season 1. Honestly, I might drop it and go to the manga instead. The manga's quite a bit further, and I think this show kind of translates to the manga, or translates. I'll probably enjoy it more in manga form. Not that Production IG is doing anything wrong, not that anything is necessarily bad with this show. I just see this one extending out in the same way that My Hero Academia does, and I'm not really here for that. Like, I don't need to do that. I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z and having them do 1800 episodes of floating before anything happened, and I've lost interest in giving that much of my already short amount of time to entire episodes of just exposition. But I mean, if you want something that's got cool monster designs, if you want something that's got good action, this is definitely a good one for it. Some of the humor, at least for me, does fall a little bit flat, but it's definitely not bad. It's definitely not bad. There are going to be some things here that are really in for a lot of people. Moving on to chilling in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. Okay, we're starting to get into the longer and longer titles, because these were all based off of light novels, and light novels are notoriously have super duper long titles. Like level 2 Karachi Data Motoyusha Koho no Matari Isekai Life. Chill in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. So it's another Isekai trash show, but I'm honestly here for this one, chat. We don't have a lot of action in this one. There are scenes. There definitely are scenes, but this is more of almost a slice of life romance isekai, which pulling at my heartstrings. Basically, Banaza gets isekai'd from a fantasy world into another fantasy world. King doesn't think he has any powers, so he sends him off to die near a forest. Come to find out, nope, he's got powers. He just had to reach level 2 first, and then he becomes basically a god. From there, he defeats a wolf demon. She becomes his wife. And then they just have moderately lighthearted adventures. Like, there are stakes here and there, but he is so overpowered that he kind of just sidesteps every bad thing that happens, while at the same time not choosing sides. Like, he's not siding with the humans, he's not siding with the demons, because in his old world he had to watch demi-humans be treated poorly, which they aren't treated poorly in this world, but the demons are, and he just kind of wants everybody to be friends. And the OP for the opening for this show is a certified banger. It is so good. It is literally adorable. If you like watching cute anime girls do cute anime things, as many of you probably do, 100% look up the OP for this show. It is great. But I'm definitely enjoying this one. It is 100% not for everybody by any stretch of the imagination. I totally get that. But I also read the manga. I read the manga before it became an anime, and it was something that I enjoyed, so I really did want to continue. I'm not watching My Hero Academia because I can't be bothered. I watched the first season and went, it's good, just not for me. So I moved on. Alright, next one I am actually watching with another super long title. I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Oh. Tensei Shitara Dainana Oji Data Node Kimama ni Majutsu wo Kiwa Memasu. Ooh. That's a title, chat. That's a title. Basic premise. Main character lives in a magical world filled with magic. He is a commoner. He is basically brutally murdered by nobility. He is reincarnated within the same timeline, so it's not technically an isekai. technically. He is reincarnated further down the timeline into nobility as a 7th prince, and he just is obsessed with magic. So he goes around learning magic, basically. He just learns more and more and more and more, and he's basically overpowered from the moment he's born, basically blowing a hole into the wall of the castle almost as soon as he's born. Super power fantasy, super duper power fantasy. This is a weird one. This is a very weird one. We have his problematic maid. She's very problematic because I don't know if you can. I don't. Yeah. The character, if I remember correctly, the original character is actually a girl. So as I was reincarnated as the 7th princess, I believe it's either the light novel or the manga. The main character is actually a girl. They switch it to a boy, I think, trying to get more, trying to get more viewers, I guess, which makes little sense to me. But some of the animations and drawings of this boy character are very risque, and they're risque if it were a girl character too, because of the problematic age of the character. Now, with that aside, and that's a pretty big that aside, so that's immediately going to turn a lot of people off. The animation for this show is stunning. Like, there are fight scenes in here, like, I've not heard of Tsumugi Akita Animation Lab. I've not heard of them. I'm not 100% sure what all they've done. Okay, they've done next to nothing. They've done Ryosatsu no Kyoyukotsu and Meiji Gekken 1874. Those are the only two things they've done. And then they come in here with reincarnated as a 7th prince, and some of the fight scenes, some of just the designs are bonkers. Like, holy crap. I'm so surprised by what they've put into this one. So it's kind of kept me watching it despite some of the problematic relationships in the show. Like the one maid who is obsessed with the 7th prince, whose name is Lloyd, by the way. She is just obsessed with him, but he's completely oblivious to pretty much everything. All he wants to do is learn more magic, learn more magic, learn more magic. So it just kind of leads to kind of humorous scenes, and you just realize how insanely OP he is as a main character. But it's definitely an interesting one. It's not isekai. It is still trash, but it's more fantasy trash instead of isekai trash. And yeah, the cast of characters are very interesting. They're very well done. There's really not much character development, so I will kind of count that against it. But it's definitely an interesting show if you're just out of stuff. One Piece? Nope, I'm not watching One Piece. I don't like bendy pirates. We're gonna quick stop in on this one, an Archdemon's Dilemma: How to Love Your Elf Bride. I dropped this one. I didn't drop it because it was bad. I'm currently watching 20 shows, so I didn't drop it because it was bad. I'm just already very, very ahead in the story because I'm actually reading the manga for this one. So if you're looking for a misunderstanding romance fantasy, it's not isekai by anything. It's basically about a sorcerer named Zagan who falls in love with an elf named Nephilia. She's an elven slave, unfortunately, but basically he buys her freedom because he falls in love with her at first sight. He frees her, and it's a series of misunderstandings because they're both incredibly shy and very bad at talking to each other. And a lot of what he does is he just keeps amassing power to make sure that she gets treated well, and kind of fighting off people who are after her throughout and through. It does have some good story points to it. The animation is very well done. I've never heard of Brains Base either. What have they done? Oh, they've actually done a whole bunch of stuff. Is there anything I recognize? Oh, they did Blood Lad. Blood Lad was fantastic. I miss Blood Lad. They did Defrag. They did Durarara. Okay, so that's why this one looks as good as it does. They did Bakano. I do not know how I didn't know the name of this animation company. That's really, really sad because they have done a ton of stuff I've actually watched. Golden Kamui. Okay, and there's more pages, but we're not going to go through all that. Video would be 6 hours long. But an Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride, super good, super good. It's romance, fantasy, a little bit of action. Everything looks really good. It is a good story. Like I said, the only reason I dropped it is because I'm much, much further ahead in the manga. And when shows so accurately follow the manga, for me it's a little bit hard to watch the anime unless it's a very specific kind of anime. But I'm just super far ahead, so I'm just going to keep reading this one. But definitely if you're looking for a romance fantasy show with light sprinklings of action, this is definitely a good one. You're not really going to go wrong with it. It's enjoyable. Alright, I'm not watching Windbreaker. It's not really my kind of show. I'm not watching Misfit of Demon Academy Core 2 because I dropped it last season. In all honesty, the first season of Misfit of Demon Academy was fantastic, super funny. Anos Voldigold just murking everybody, but then the story got super convoluted going into season 2, and I 100% just dropped it. We have As a Reincarnated Aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skills to rise in the world. I also dropped this one. Once again, not bad. Basically, Ars Levant is a guide into a world. He's a minor noble, and he has the power to see people's hidden abilities. And so he basically just starts amassing more or less an army to be good. He's not a bad character. But once again, I read the manga. It's not particularly something I'm going to keep up with in anime form, but it's far from bad. It's an enjoyable little show if you're not watching so many shows. We're just gonna skip over RE Monster because I dropped that one pretty much in. Just Isekai guy eats people to gain powers. It's basically a PowerPoint presentation in show form. It is what it is. Dungeon Meshi, I think most people already know of Delicious in Dungeon. I dropped it, in all honesty. It's not that it's bad. I'm just gonna read the manga. Which is really bad because I love Studio Trigger so much, but I just got bored. I just got bored of Dungeon Meshi, and that's not to say there's anything wrong with it. It's a fantastic show. Don't let me say I dropped it deter you from watching it. Apparently they just got a second season. Great. Okay. Let's move on here. I am not watching Spice and Wolf. I started Spice and Wolf, chat. I swear to God, I started Spice and Wolf, and I made it in so far, and the show just kept making me sad. I cannot watch that much sadness. I know Lawrence and Hollow do end up with a happy ending. I've been around long enough. But my God, watching it get there, watching them go through hardships, it's not good for my mental health or my heart, so I can't do it. So I did drop it. I will probably come back when it's finished and I have extra time to just kind of catch up and rewatch it. But for now, I can't do it. The New Gate, aka Wish.com Sword Art Online. Honestly, I don't need to talk about it. It's Wish.com Sword Art Online. Just skip it. It's honestly, it's not great. I don't know anybody that I would recommend it to unless the only anime they've ever watched is Sword Art Online and they want literally something just like it that is less. Let's see what we have here. Irregular Magic High School. I dropped that a season ago because it just got really weird. Date Alive. I am 100% not caught up on Date Alive, so I'm not watching that. Not that one. Let's move on. Mission Yozakura Family. I actually dropped partway in. I don't know. I've heard the manga's better. I'm probably going to check out the manga. It's a spy family show. Not to be confused with Spy Family. It's just a show about another spy family. The cast of characters is interesting. they just run the entire show like a 4-panel manga, and it's weird. It's just a weird setup and a weird basis. So I dropped it pretty. I think I made it 6 or 7 episodes in before I dropped it. I gave it its fair chance. Let's see. We have Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young again. I started it, but then it did what I didn't want it to do, which is where they basically go back and forth between old and young, old and young, old and young, which is not interesting. I don't really need to see that happening. It's not an interesting thing for me, because it's artificially extending everything out, and not for it, chat. Studio Apartment, Good Lighting, Angel Included. I did drop this one as well, once again, because I'm reading the manga. I don't know. See, I think we as trash connoisseurs have been spoiled. So this is light harem. Basically, we have Shintaro, who's a super duper nice guy. Angel named Toa lands on his balcony. And then he just starts learning that he's surrounded by mythical beings like an ice woman, and honestly, I'm not super far in it. I dropped this one because my watch list was already packed. But the thing with this, it's not bad. Animation's super cute, the characters are super cute, everything about it's good. But I think the 100 Girlfriends That Really, 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 Really Love You ruined harem shows. Ruined it. Because that show, while being just an ecchi trash heap in the best way possible, when you sit back and realize that each individual character in that show, like all of the girlfriends, are unique characters. They all have their own ways they talk, their own personalities, their own unique character designs, to a massive extent. I think it ruins a lot of other harem shows because you're comparing them. And I think we're reaching a point now where we're kind of getting like peak shows in a way, where they're redesigning, or not redesigning, but they're really kind of setting the genre standard. And I think if you're not kind of living up to that, it's really hard to get those recommendations. And it's not to say Studio Apartment, Good Lighting, Angel Included is bad. It's not bad. I just think The 100 Girlfriends is one that really kind of stood by its own when it came to that genre. So I ended up dropping it. I can read manga a lot quicker than I can watch anime, so I'll probably just continue that until I get bored of it. Ninja Kamui, which is actually done. It actually began in winter, and because it was Adult Swim, it just kind of trickled into the spring. Man, talk about a bait and switch. Talk about a bait and switch, chat. Ninja Kamui started out so strong. First few episodes, so good. The animation, the fight choreography, everything about it was so good. And then we brought in the CG mech suits, and the whole show fell the hell apart. And I watched it all the way through. I watched it to the end, chat. And let me tell you, don't do it. Maybe watch the first 3 episodes, then give up. Because after that, like once you hit, I think, episode 5 or 6, it's just not great. And I'm still wondering why. Because the director, I believe, was the same director who did Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. And Ninja Kamui, after a while, was a hot mess, guys. A hot mess. And that's all I'm going to say with that. We're going to move on. That made me depressed. That bait and switch was horrible. Sentai Daishikaku, which is Go-Go Loser Ranger. I dropped it. I watched it partway through, and then I just stopped caring about the characters. I tried reading the manga on this one, and it didn't grab me either. I think if you're a fan of Super Sentai and you like that, like, and not that I dislike it, I do enjoy, you know, Sentai Power Rangers and whatnot. I do think those things are fun and have their time and place. The show just, it felt weird to me, and it's going to extend into weird areas that it wasn't for me. So moving on, Blue Archive the animation. So I am behind on Blue Archive the animation. Not for any bad reason, I just have a lot of stuff to watch. Blue Archive also, if I remember correctly, is not actually streaming anywhere legally. Nobody really picked up on it to bring it to the States, to my knowledge. But I mean, it's based off a gacha game. It's based off a mobile gacha game where you have a bunch of different schools of cute anime girls with guns. Animation-wise, it's fantastic. Story-wise, I believe it's just telling the main first story arc from the game, and from the, I think I'm 6 episodes in on that one. And they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. All the characters are, I mean, most of the characters are there. They're not showing them all yet. They're all really well done. Animation's great. Gunfights are fun. Everything about it's fun. I just fell behind on it. But if you need a show about cute anime girls with guns fighting each other, yeah, go ahead and check it out. You'll have a decent enough time. All right, moving on down. We're almost halfway through this list, chat. Like I said, it is a stacked season, and I'm sure there are plenty of shows that everyone's out there watching that I'm not. But like I said, I'm watching 20 shows, and a lot of these are sequels. I'm either keeping up with it or I'm not. So we have Sasayaku yo Nikoi wa Utao. Whisper Me a Love Song. I dropped this one. The animation I wasn't feeling the animation. Yuri. I love a good Yuri story. I mean, it's hard to compete with like Bloom Into You and things like that, but Whisper Me a Love Song is interesting. I think I'm probably just gonna go back and read the manga. The animation kind of lost me a little bit. Not a huge deal. It also looks like they have 2 weeks of recap, so it looks like there are actually some animation issues with keeping the show up to date. Oh yeah, episode 9's out. Most other shows are about to hit episode 12 being done, so 2 weeks behind, so there is some weird stuff happening there. But I dropped it pretty early on and just told myself I'll go ahead and read it because it is an interesting story. I am enjoying Himari and Yori kind of falling in love with each other. It's super cute, but I'm going to read that one instead. Okay, now on to one of my favorites, and if you look at me, you're not gonna think this man loves Yuru Camp, but my god, do I love Yuru Camp, chat. These cute anime girls can go touch grass, so I don't have to. I don't think I need to really tell anybody about this show. It has been around long enough now. Basically, it is just the continuation of Rin and Nadeshiko going camping with their friends Ayano, Chiaki, Ao, and Enna. They just go camping. Chat, it's just awesome. They just go camping. That's all it is. I don't even like camping. I hate camping. I hate sleeping on the ground. I hate being uncomfortable. I don't like being away from all my screens. I hate camping. I'm allergic to nearly everything outside. It is not for me, chat. It is 100% not for me. But damn it if I won't watch some cute anime girls go camping and be happy for them that they're having these relaxing times out in the wilderness. Damn it if I am not all for that. I am 100%, I love Yuru Camp, or laid back camp in the States. I love it. It is, it's like sitting and eating an entire cake. It is so obnoxiously sweet. You don't need it, but you want it. Because everything about it is like being wrapped in a warm hug. Every character is adorable. There's next to no conflict. If you're having a bad day, this is that show that you put on to go, screw you, bad day. I'm gonna cheer up at least a little bit if I can. That's what Laid Back Camp is, chat. That is what Laid Back Camp is. I always recommend this. I've seen all 3 seasons. I've seen the movie. If the games didn't all suck, I would play the games. this is one of the shows that got me into the slice of life, cute anime girls doing cute anime things genre, because that was never a thing for me before. I avoided that like the plague. And now I'm over here trying to catch up on ones that I've missed because of this show, because it was so well done. But yeah, Laid Back Camp Season 3, absolutely fantastic. Very, very good continuation after Season 2 and the movie. Moving on, Bartender Glass of God, or Bartender Kame no Glass. This is a remake. It's a remake of a show I had not watched, literally also called Bartender Glass of God. I actually adore this one. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink. I'm very sober. The show has kind of made me want to go, I wonder if there's a drink I could have to make me feel all fancy. Where's my glass of God? It's not in a bad way either. The show basically just about a bartender that's got some trauma, and it shows how he goes and through his job tries to help people through their problems. Animation's beautiful. It is a slice of life. It is a slice of life, but beyond that, it's really about, it's just, man, it's a show about trying to get past trauma and having, like, he's basically a therapist in this show, which is not a bad thing. It's done very well. And I actually went back and tried to watch the original. I think this was 3 or 4 episodes in on this one. I'm like, oh, kind of the original's done. Maybe I'll try that one out. And for some reason, I could not get into the original. And I think it was how they set up the exposition and how the characters talked and the story direction. The original felt very disjointed because I'm fully caught up with this one. 11 episodes are done. The season finale's in 2 days. Episode 10, if I remember correctly, episode 10, the story portion from episode 10 in this remake was in episode 3 of the original series. So I think the story direction is done better in this remake, and if you're looking for just man, it feels like such a classy show. That's the only way I can really kind of say this. It feels like a classy show. Everybody in the cast is an adult. It's basically just people working, but it is, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of, like, I hinder myself from saying like it's got life lessons to it, but it very much feels that way. Like it's really trying to teach you something in a way, but it is a very, very good show. I'm enjoying it immensely, and that's Bartender Glass of God. All right, moving on once again to Mysterious Disappearances. Okay, chat, Mysterious Disappearances. Most people, if you are in the otaku anime world, have heard of this one because it's the show with the lady with the big booba. It's the show with the lady with the big booba, the booba that defy physics, because if she were a real person, her spine would have snapped in half. All honesty, it's not a bad show. It is actually a pretty good show there. It is a ecchi mystery supernatural minor horror show. There are some horror elements to it, and there have been a couple episodes that were a little creepy, like not scary, like I'm not sitting there going but there were some where the tension was palpable, and I've really been enjoying it because it also delves into, I think, Japanese, Chinese, most Asian, like folklore. It's gone into a lot of folklore, and so I'm learning about like these old folklore tales from olden times, and how in this show they've kind of modernized some of them. Like the newest 2 episodes were about a VTuber. I don't know if you guys know what VTubers are. Lol. Where the person behind the VTuber retired the VTuber, and the VTuber basically came alive, became like possessed, like its own entity. So, and it was actually based off of an old story, pre-internet obviously, and how they modernize these things. And there is an entire backstory behind it on what Sumereko and Ren and Ren's sister, like what's going on in the background. There's a lot of stuff going on, but they're investigating urban legends and black magic and ghost stories. And the cast of characters is slowly growing. I think it's organically growing in a healthy way. They're not just jamming 50 characters into one episode. I think up to the point now, because episode 10 is out, I think they've only introduced like 8 or 9 characters, like 8 or 9 main characters. So it's like a character every episode or two, and they all fit really neatly into the story of it. So I've actually been super impressed with Mysterious Disappearances. Now it's obviously not for everybody. The ecchi stuff really pushes a lot of people away, but honestly most of the ecchi stuff is in the OP. It's just in the intro song. It is, the show's not super bad with it. It's not super fan servicey, so you don't have to worry about that. Oh, let's see. Salad Bowl of Eccentrics I actually dropped. It was just weird. So I don't really have anything to say about that one. Okay, we're getting into, honestly, I think, chat, if this one's gonna be a hard sell for me. Not for me, but for me to tell people to watch this one, because you have to get around a lot of different things. Jellyfish can't swim in the night. Yoru no kurage wa oyo genai. Jellyfish can't swim in the night. This one is amazing. There's really no way to get around that. But you have to be okay with watching a slice of life, a cute anime girls doing cute anime things, and a music show all in one, and Yuri. I'm pretty sure this is a straight up Yuri show. There's nothing, I can't go read any light novel or manga to kind of investigate that, because this is an anime original. The character development, phenomenal. The art direction, phenomenal. The music, while not my favorite music of the season, and we will get to that in a bit, but the music, phenomenal. Everything about this show ticks a lot of boxes. We have dealing with trauma, we have dealing with different identities and gender identities with one of the characters. We have imposter syndrome with a couple other characters. We have creatives hating the things that they themselves are making and learning to be okay with themselves. We have really good, just everything about this show is fantastic. Basically about Mahiro Kazuki basically is the main character at the start. She was an artist, and she gave up art when she tried to show off a mural that she had made to some friends, and they made fun of it. So she's kind of this like she's no longer doing art until she runs into a former idol named Kano, who explains to her that her art pushed her to be herself. From there, we meet VTuber, once again, VTubers coming in, Kiwi Watase and composer Mei. And they actually form a anonymous artist group called Jelly. Man, this show is ridiculously good, chat. Like, if I know a lot of people shy away from the slice of life. They kind of avoid these type of shows, but give this one a chance. Give it a 1 or 2 episode chance, and I think it's gonna really pull a lot of people in. I've seen it compared to a lot of like the penultimate slice of life shows that everybody's like, these are must watches. This is definitely being compared to a lot of those, and I think it's really going to, I think it's going to leave a mark. We'll put it that way. It's an absolutely phenomenal show, and I'm really sad it's locked behind HIDIVE, because HIDIVE is not a good service, and they really only have a couple shows this season, and this one is immaculate, and it's locked behind that. But check out Jellyfish Can't Swim. It truly does deserve all the praise. I dropped Viral Hit because I don't like it. Moving on. The Duke of Death and His Maid, Season 3. If you're not already watching this, you're not going to get into it now, but it does appear that we are ending the story finally. And that's not a finally because I'm tired of it, that's a finally because I want these characters to be happy. But yeah, basically, Duke of Death and His Maid, Bochan, basically cursed when he was a child. He can't touch anything living, otherwise he kills it. And his maid Alice, they love each other, they can't touch each other, and not only because of the curse, but also because he's nobility and she is his maid. But we are in season 3 now, and some stuff has happened, and it is so good. I watched 3 episodes of it today to catch up because I was behind, and I cannot wait for the season finale, and I have to wait till next week to finish it. But yeah, Duke of Death and His Maid has been one that for 3 seasons I've enjoyed through and through. The art is odd. We have like minor CG. It's done okay. And then like their backgrounds all look like oil paintings. And that is kind of like a stunning juxtaposition. So yeah, that's a unique one, but yeah, it's JC Staff, so it's a very, very good animation studio. So if you don't mind supernatural romance, some comedy, this is definitely a good one, and not a lot of people are talking about it. I see random posts of people like myself going, why is no one watching this show? But it's great. I've very much enjoyed my journey with it. I'm not crying, you're crying is a phrase I say to myself while watching, because there are just certain points that really get me. Moving on, going to Train to the End of the World. This is kind of another bait and switch, chat. Rubbing my face. This is another bait and switch. Oh, apparently, I just found out episode 12 has been delayed by 1 week due to promotion circumstances. Great. That's okay. I don't mind that. First episode, insane. The first episode really caught my attention. Basically, girl shows up in Ikebukuro, pushes a button, and 7G internet happens and breaks the world. Or at least breaks the train line. From there we go back to her hometown. We see all of her friends board an abandoned train on their way to go try and find her, and seeing the devastation that the 7G phenomenon did to the cities or the stops along the train line. It's not bad. I'm not saying the bait and switch is bad, but the first episode set it up to be a specific energy, and it's kind of lost that energy as it's gone along. But the world building and the creativity is definitely there. Hold on, let me see. The studio that did this is EMT Squared. Have they really... They have done a lot of weird, random isekai shows. Oh, they did Kuma 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 Bear, which I enjoyed, but I would be the first to admit that that's not a good show. It's... If I called anything a guilty pleasure, which I don't, I like to be honest with myself. But yeah, the studio is not really known for anything crazy, nothing that really pops out. But I mean, it's one of those things like Train to the End of the World is an interesting enough show. It's got really good ideas. I just think it kind of falters a little bit here and there. But it's okay. It's okay. It's just not what I expected. All right. We are getting there, chat. Next one, The Many Sides of Voice Actor Radio. Yuhi Yuguri and Yasumi Utatane, both voice actresses, both idol voice actresses, and they are not friends. They are 100% not friends. They don't actually know who each other are, which is why I think the description of this show is very, very funny, because we don't even get that for the first couple episodes. But basically, they're both idol voice actresses. They are not friends. They are very much different. One is a shy loner, one is a gyaru. and they present themselves differently doing their work, but it's basically just the journey of being high school voice actresses, really. Oh, what up, Cat of Nox? Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. How was your stream? What were you doing? Let me give you a shout out. Let me give you a shout out. Yeah. Oh, you were playing Forgive Me, Father. That's one I really wanted to get into, but I just, have not gotten into it yet, but it looked really, really fun. But I hope you guys had a good stream. I hope everything was good there. I'm just over here talking about anime. Is it really nice? Yeah, I keep seeing it, and the second one just came out. I keep seeing it pop up in bundles on Fanatical, but I've not given it a chance. But I really do like the art style, and I mean anything Lovecraftian is always super cool. I like the monster designs and everything like that. But welcome in, Raiders. I'm Zombie Bait. I'm just your standard elder emo demon VTuber. I'm doing something a little bit different today. Doomish music with Lovecraftian vibe. Nice. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out because I do love me some Doomish music and Lovecraft stuff. Like, I love monster designs. Monster designs are always great, especially Lovecraftian ones. Actually, probably once I get done streaming today, the new Batman animated movie is on HBO Max and it's supposed to be Lovecraftian, so I'm pretty curious about that. And I don't really have anything planned. I'm just doing a shorter stream today because I realized I hadn't talked about anime on my channel at all, and I really wanted to talk about anime. So yeah, I'm actually just going through, I pulled up Live Chart and I'm just going through the spring 2024 anime list on what I'm watching, what I would recommend, and what I'm skipping. So this is obviously going to be the VOD that gets me hated on by the community because I'm not watching One Piece. But you know, it happens. It happens. Yeah, we're about halfway down the list now. I was just talking about the many sides of voice actor radio. So I don't know if anybody's watching that one. It's basically just a slice of life show, and I'm pretty sure Yuri, but the Yuri is very subtle. I mean, I'm even looking at the tags here, and it is actually tagged girls love, but they don't love each other yet. But yeah, tumultuous relationship unfolds. But yeah, I've been really enjoying the many sides of voice actor radio, but since I got some raiders in here, we're just gonna go on to the next one. Let's see, chat. Let's see. I don't need to talk about Urusei Yatsura because it's fine. It's great. But we're gonna go down here and we're gonna talk about one of my favorite shows this season, and it's gonna surprise everybody. Girls Band Cry, chat. Girls Band Cry. You cannot watch this one legally. It is extremely depressing. No one picked this show up. Literally, no one. It's not anywhere. Well, it's not anywhere legally to watch with subs. I wanted to hate this show. I am not a big fan of CGI, especially not in anime. It's just not a thing for me. I was really surprised. The CGI in this show, while definitely noticeable, they have some of the most expressive faces I have ever seen in any show, CGI or not. I don't know who's doing their mocapping. I don't know who is actively doing, because it's Toei. Toei is doing it. Like, I pull up, like, yeah, we look here and it's literally all World Trigger, Dragon Ball, like some of the biggest shows, but this show's CG is absolutely incredible. And I mentioned earlier that about some of my favorite music. This show has my absolute favorite music, bar none, in any of the shows that I'm currently watching. They're just straight up like girl rock jams. Everything about them is just immaculate. Let me see if I can pull up my Spotify here. Let me see if I can pull up my Spotify, if I can find any. Oh, I sure the hell can. Okay, give me half a second, chat. We're gonna drop this down. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I clicked the wrong button. Like this is the OP. Like it's just a banger. Okay, I'm gonna pause. If I sit here, I'm just gonna keep listening to that song because that song is just really good. Let's re-level this back up. Okay, but yeah, I really wanted to hate this. I really wanted to hate this show because I just try and avoid all CG. I've been burned by so many CG shows. But the character development in Girls Band Cry, the music that they do, the traumas that they're trying to see themselves through, the way that emotions are actually animated in the show itself is extremely well done. Like the main character Nina, she's the main the vocalist and the main character of the story. Whenever she starts getting really frustrated, you just start seeing black and red lines kind of flow from her body to kind of give you a visual representation of the anger, rage, and frustration she's feeling. And everything about the show is just so well done. I keep gushing about this one, and I know there are a lot of other YouTubers and VTubers that have talked about this as well as being one that has really stood out. And so many people are going to miss it because it is a slice of life show and it is a music show, which tend to be the two things that everybody tries to avoid. And I truly do think that people are doing themselves a disservice by missing this one. I think this is one, if you can track it down, if you know the sites to go and watch this, I think you will really, you'll have a good time. The music hits me. Like I don't speak Japanese, not fluently at all, but man, you can feel the emotion coming through when Nina sings and she kind of gets that vocal fry going on where she hits those like growls when she's singing, and just watching how the animation portrays their emotions and in addition with the music, I think is really a magical thing. And it's really depressing to me that nobody picked this up to stream it. Not a single thing. It's sad, chat. It's sad. All right, moving on. I think we're almost through everything that I'm currently watching. Okay, so I've dropped a bunch of shows. As if you've been watching this video, if you've heard me say I dropped this, I dropped this, I dropped this. One I picked up was Tonari no Yokai-san. No English title, it's just Tonari no Yokai-san. Basically, we are in an alternate reality in this show where humans live with yokai. Yokai being like old folklore, not so much demons, but creatures, just mythological creatures. And so there are guardian spirits, there are evil spirits, there's literally a whole bunch. And the show just lives in that we're just in that alternate reality, and there is actually talk of other alternate realities and traversing back and forth between them, and that's actually, I believe, episode 9 or 10 starts kind of looking into that. But it's just a very interesting show where you have supernatural beings, you have your regular people, and their everyday struggles, their everyday things that they go through. It's just been one of those, to me it feels like Ghibli light. Like it feels almost like a Ghibli show that didn't have, you know, Disney-esque money behind it, and Leidenfields does it, which is really weird because they're most known for Goblin Slayer and Call of the Night. Like they're literally all over the place with the shows that they've done. Tokyo Revengers, but then they put out this like slice of life monster show that's got so much heart to it, so much soul to it, and it actually has this insane amount of world building that's pulling from centuries of folklore, and kind of woven together in this really interesting way, in this really good way. And apparently episode 13 is listed as the last episode as our recent headlines. We got 2 more episodes of it. But if you like Ghibli, if you kind of like Japanese folklore, if you're okay with slice of life, this is definitely one I think you should check out. Maybe watch a trailer, even though the trailers don't really do it much justice. This has definitely been one that I've very much enjoyed seeing each week. Okay. Oi Tanbo. I'm a few episodes behind on Tanbo. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. It's not bad. It's not bad. It is a golf show, and it's a golf show, chat. It's not much. Basically, Tombo is being raised by her grandfather, who they live on an island out in the middle of nowhere. Both of her parents died in a tragic accident. Nobody in her family wanted to take her in, so her grandfather did, as he's a fisherman on this island. And she basically just wants to stay on that island forever because it's the only place she feels where she belongs, and she more or less just goes around and golfs until one day she meets Kazuyoshi Igarashi, who was a professional golfer, but after he lost his family and basically his will to continue playing golf, moves to this island, and basically he's trying to teach her golf. I keep getting irritated by their back and forth because he wants her to play golf professionally because she's so good. She just wants to play golf because it's fun. So I'm torn. I'm really torn. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, adult, why you gotta ruin this thing that means so much to her type shows. But at the same time, it's a pretty heartfelt show. There's some cool stuff to it. But yeah, Tanbo. Have fun watching. It's only on Amazon. Because they're starting to fight over their shows now, and we're coming back to cable, chat. We're getting back to cable, and it's depressing. I'm also watching Idolmaster Shiny Colors. There's no point in clicking into it if you know anything about Idolmaster, or if you know anything about idol shows, you already know what it's about. A large group of girls all form subgroups, all sing songs. Animation's fantastic, music's good. Obviously, it's a multi-million-dollar franchise, so why would it not be? But if you don't like slice of life or music stuff, you're really not going to get into it. I like Idolmaster. I like Love Live more, but since I don't have a Love Live this season, Idolmaster is kind of filling that gap for me. Now, I think that might be the end of my list on what I'm watching right now. It is. Good. We finally made it through, chat. It only took an hour. Only took an hour to talk about the 20 shows I'm currently watching and the like 10 that I dropped. But yeah, so like I said, this season is super duper stacked with shows for everybody. If you're into shonen battle anime, this season's got you covered. If you're into slice of life, got you covered. Into music stuff, got you covered. We actually have a lot of Yuri this season, so we have a lot of that stuff. So I think we have, we've got a few BL shows this season. We even have, where did it go? Yeah, we even have, what is it? Omegaverse? I think it's Omegaverse. We even have one of those this season. We're really, they're branching out. They're getting more and more stuff. Stuff is getting made that I never thought in my lifetime I would see kind of being so out there. And I'm glad. I'm super happy for it. But we also have here starting in a week or two, we are moving on to summer 2024. And man, Summer is just as stacked as spring is. We're eating good, anime fans. We are eating good. But I really just don't have time for all this. I wish they'd calm the hell down so I have time to play some games, have time to stream more. We've got 2.5. We have 2.5 Dimensional Seduction coming out, which is gonna be. So I've been reading the manga for that one. We have the Shikanoko Noko Noko Kashi Tantan, which is the song that has invaded everyone. It's been literally everywhere. So yeah. We're eating good. We're eating good, fellow otaku, fellow weebs. We are eating good. But I think with that, I'm gonna end my stream up today. I just wanted to pop on here and do a short little talk about anime stream. That's all I really wanted to do. Nothing too crazy. I didn't expect anybody to raid me. In all honesty, I just expected no one to watch and this would go up on my VODs. What's up, Wolf? How you doing? Have you been here the whole time, or did you just pop in? Did you just pop in at the very end of my short stream today? Am I gonna feel bad for ending this when you got here? Okay, you've been listening for a while. Good, good. That makes me feel less bad, because I would honestly feel terrible if you just popped in. Did you? Oh, awesome. I'm super happy that you wrote down some recommendations. I'm so happy. That means the world to me. I mean, hell, if one person gets anything out of this, and the next time I do like a chatty anime stream and you pop in and we can talk about what you liked and disliked, it would make me super duper happy. I don't have most of the people I know locally that watch anime only watch battle shonens, so I don't really have anybody to talk to about, because they're all stuck on their this guy's gonna fight this guy, and I'm like, but what about the love? Does anybody have the love? Is there anything you're watching? You enjoy Slice of Life? Me too. Yeah, we're eating good on Slice of Life this season. Definitely. If you do enjoy Slice of Life, and I don't know which ones you wrote down or when you checked into the stream, Chilling in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers is a fun slice of life that has a little bit of action to it. But I think my favorite slice of life this season has got to be Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. Honestly, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night has been so good. Girls Band Cry is also really good, but that one's more good for the music. But Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night has been an absolute joy. There's a lot of like self-identity stuff that kicks in with it, which I think is really, really good. Bartender and Yuru Camp are also absolutely fantastic. But yeah, Slice of Life is really eating well this season. I mean, I think kind of everybody is. Even the people that like creepy, problematic maids are eating good with Seventh Prince Reincarnated. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for joining, everybody who's still here, everybody who hung on, everybody who just popped in to say hi. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And yeah, hopefully you got some good recommendation. Wolf, what did you write down? What are you going to check out that I went over? Just out of curiosity, if you're still here. I'm super, super curious about what you're going to check out. No. Oh, Jellyfish and Laid Back Camp. Oh, if you haven't seen Laid Back Camp, you are in for a treat. You've also got a whole bunch. There's 3 seasons and a movie. The movie actually takes place in the future beyond the seasons when they're all more grown up. But Laid Back Camp is super duper chill. It's literally like being wrapped in a blanket. There's literally no drama. It's comedy and just cute anime girls going camping. Jellyfish has a lot of drama, but it's all very, very heartfelt. It's very, very well done. And I honestly, Jellyfish is one of those shows that every single episode that I watch, I get more and more impressed with the storytelling. Like 100%, it has been an absolute joy to watch this season. It was not something I initially thought anything of, but the visuals in episode 1, and a lot of shows, you know, take 1 to 3 episodes to really catch my attention. It's that ADHD, but Jellyfish caught my attention episode 1. Like after that first episode, it went onto my watch list. I've been keeping up with it week after week after week. Like I said, the only downside of Jellyfish is that it's on High Dive. If you're, you know, don't know how to go and search for alternate means, which I can't condone. I can't condone, chat. Don't. Yep. You do what you got to do. But yeah, Jellyfish is definitely one. I think if you like Slice of Life, I think those 2 shows, I think you'll really enjoy. You'll have to let me know. You'll definitely have to let me know what you think of them. Either next time. I've always used alternate, but it's getting to be that way. It is getting to be that way. Everything is getting more and more expensive, and all of these stupid places are only getting 1 or 2 shows. Like High Dive only has like two shows this season, 2 new shows. I'm not gonna pay monthly to watch 2 new shows. Like, and I've already dropped 1 of them, so I'd literally be paying monthly just to watch Jellyfish and nothing else. Crunchyroll I still pay for because it does keep most of my shows in one spot, which is fine, but everything else I've canceled. So yeah, I get that. I definitely get that. But yeah, you'll be, if you were looking for Slice of Life, which it looks like, on the other hand, I've bought light novels. Nope. Yeah, support them. That's the whole thing. So support who you can when you can, but it's hard. It's hard. Like I would love to buy manga, but it takes me about 20 minutes to read a manga. And last year, I think I read 600 volumes in the entire year. I'm not spending that much money. It's like buying a car. I read all my manga digitally. I read my light novels digitally just because, yeah. But no, there's nothing wrong with that. You support how you can support. Yeah. Oh, 100%. I read a lot last year. I'm not reading as much this year. I think I've read 120 or 200 manga volumes this year, which is down for me, but I've been playing a lot more games. I've been streaming, been watching a lot more anime, been working on my stream, trying to, you know, do stuff. So I've been doing a lot of other things this year, trying to be more creative. But yeah, I'm glad that this stream got you some things to watch. 100% let me know what you think of those shows. I'd be really curious to see if you like them. Yuru Camp, Laid Back Camp is hyper popular. It's hyper popular in Japan. Last time I went to Japan, there were Laid Back Camp merch places everywhere. You could literally go buy entire camping sets that was just Laid Back Camp merch. And it took everything within me not to buy them because I don't go camping. I don't like the outdoors. So it would have been a massive waste of money for me to buy everything, but my god, it was all so cute. I wanted every little bit of it. But okay, I think with that we're gonna call stream here, chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for being in chat and chatting with me. Wolf, thank you so much for listening, and I'm super happy that you got some recommendations. If you ever need any more recommendations, just shoot me a message, and I will do my best to find you some more shows. I'm always down to talk about anime, and I'm hoping to do more of these style streams. They're a little bit shorter because I could pull a Gigook and do like a 6-hour anime stream, but maybe down the road. Maybe down the road we'll do something like that. For now, we're at about an hour and a half. I've gone through the spring/summer 2024 list. So I think the next time I do a stream like this, it'll probably be in 2 to 3 weeks. Once I've gotten a chance to check out the summer 2024 anime, once I can go through, watch what I'm gonna watch, kind of get my general, like maybe watch the first episode of all the shows that I plan on watching, and I'll set up another stream like this and talk about what I'm watching. Hopefully I can give people a bigger notice that I'm doing this, because this was kind of spur of the moment, because I wanted to stream today but I didn't really feel like playing anything. But yeah, in probably 2 to 3 weeks, I'm gonna go ahead and do this again. It looks like it might be 3 weeks. A lot of these shows look like they're starting in 3 weeks. So yeah, and then we'll pop in here, we'll do it again, we'll talk about anime, we'll have a good time, we'll see what we're all watching, what we are enjoying, and what we should skip. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I have been Zombie Bait, your local elder emo demon VTuber. I very much appreciate all the love. I appreciate everyone watching. I appreciate the chats. And I will see you guys later. Peace.